Hey, yo, let me just say that I really hate y'all niggas.
Ooh, I bet they can't stand me. Ooh, I bet they can't stand me. Yeah. Thought I was.
What's good, everybody? So today, as you can see in the title below, we are going to be discussing the Cuties movie. Now, I'm giving you a heads up. There are going to be some spoilers in terms of the narrative and the setting of this particular movie, the beginning and the ending, and in the middle ground. Okay, now given my ratings upon this particular movie that a lot of people did not like when I posted it on Instagram, I'm going to thoroughly break this down and also debunk some of the arguments that I have been hearing concerning this very movie. First and foremost, I want to sincerely apologize to the beautiful black woman that created this particular movie, because I was believing the hype and the hoopla upon everything concerning this very movie. So I can't say her name, so I'm not even gonna try and mess it up, but I'm gonna say her first, try to say her first name, Maymuna. You know, Miss Maymuna, I sincerely apologize. This was a very good movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. As for me being a film major and being a film critic, you know, this was a very good movie. First and foremost, let's go through the setting. So the movie is about a black girl who is raised up in a Muslim household. Okay, her father is off to Senegal, finding a second wife, or he has found a second wife. So in the beginning of the movie, it clearly shows you the particular type of narrative in certain aspects of Islam in terms of how they see women. The auntie, the main character, Amy's auntie is talking to a group of women, Muslim women, in their particular apartment area, and she's telling them about how women are supposed to be pious, and telling women that you know, the women who dress naked and all this other type of stuff, they're of the devil and all this other type of things, and basically tells the women, you know, stay on the road, on the path of righteousness, because there are going to be more women in hell than in heaven. You know, all this type of stuff, right? Anyways, so we get along into the movie, and all of a sudden you see Amy gets influenced, or she likes what she sees with Angelica. Angelica is the Hispanic girl in the little girl group, and so she's in the washer room, getting her clothes out the dryer and stuff like that, and she's dancing to this music, you know, and she's also ironing her hair, which I thought was very interesting concerning, you know, how people flat iron their hair, literally flat iron their hair. Nonetheless, so because of Amy curiosity, she decides that she wants to learn how to dance just like how Angelica was dancing, and she wants to try and flat iron her hair, which we see down the line that didn't work out for her. Nonetheless, so she goes to school and she sees these little girls. And they are a group, you know, and they seem cool and bad, all this other type of stuff. So you see in the movie that Amy's being influenced into wanting to be like them. Later on down the line, she runs into them, right? Because before she runs into them, she was watching them from afar. I think they were under a bridge or under some train tracks or something like that. Anyways, she was watching them from afar. They spotted her. They hit her with a rock. The next day, they kind of peer pressure her into being how they are, you know. So first she becomes good friends with Angelica, and then she becomes buddy, quote unquote, buddy with the rest of the girls. So throughout the movie, mind you, for the first 30 minutes of the movie, you don't see anything explicit. Alright, just giving you a heads up. It's an hour and a half movie, and throughout the first 40 to 30 to 40 minutes, you don't see anything explicit, you don't see anything pedophilic or whatever the case is, what people are saying on social media. It was actually great storytelling. I was very captivated in the movie, watching the movie and seeing what is going down and all this other type of stuff. And you ever see certain stuff that just be so boring, so you just like, when is this gonna be over? I never got that feeling when I was watching this movie. When I was watching the movie, I was like, oh snap, we 25 minutes in, we 40 minutes in. You know, I'm so captivated by the movie, I'm losing track of time. You know, I really thought that this was a really good portrayal of what this woman was bringing. So throughout the movie, you see that Amy is being influenced by these little girls. She's being influenced by the society around her. These dance groups, you know, these women that are, you know, they dance provocatively or whatever, dress provocatively. So they think that if they dress like that and dance like that, then they can be somebody special, that they can do this, that, and the third. So after the 40 minutes, right, 40 minutes going in, you see that they want to dance provocatively and all this other type of stuff. And then going later on down the line, you know, they want to do the little twerking and all this other type of stuff. So this is when, you know, the thing starts to downfall. They get into some trouble and stuff like that. Amy is stealing money from her mother. Amy also stole her, I guess it's her uncle, some family relative, stole his phone. And so she begins to create social media, and so she starts to post things on social media to get popularity. So it shows you even in the movie of how little girls or you know, people or children around this age are influenced into thinking that they can be somebody based upon likes, based upon how they might act, or based upon this hypersexual society. So Amy, all of a sudden, you know, she's getting these likes, she's getting this popularity stuff, you know, this, that, and the third. All of a sudden, and I probably got this out of chronological order, so bear with me. So she's dressed in a certain type of way in which she can get people to look at her and stuff like that. All of a sudden, she runs into this other group that they're competing against later on down the line, and all of a sudden, one of the girls, I guess, was trying to throw her soda in the trash can. She missed, and the soda kind of splashed a little bit on Angelica. So Amy thought, you know, taking it into her hands into fighting the girl, which I don't even know why she went for the girl, because in the end, did not go the way that it was supposed to. All right, not going to spoil it. Later on down the line, she's running off with these little girls, and they go into a particular area they're not supposed to go, and it's like this laser game, laser room, you know, where you play laser tag, this, that, and the third. And when they tried to get out, the security guard is there and was like, "You're not supposed to come through here. Only people who pay can go through here." And you know, and so they was like, "You know, please, we gotta go." You know, what's that? And the man tries to, you know, push them out, or you know, walk them out, else does that. And one of the girls like, "You pervert, you all this," and so I guess like the manager comes and was like, "What's going on?" And one of the girls was like, we was just minding our business and doing this, and he was trying to grope us or something like that. And he was like, "Oh, is that so?" And the security guard like, "No, these girls are clearly lying. They was just trespassing this particular area, you know, where they wasn't supposed to be here." And so all this stuff and commotion happened, and then one of the girls starts screaming because she gets a text message that says that they made it to the finals. Okay, so when all this was going on, you know, they was like, "Wait a minute, you know, you still in trouble, and you know, I'm gonna call the cops." And so then Amy starts to dance provocatively in front of the security guards, in which they go free because the manager is somehow gazing at Amy in a certain type of way because of how she's dancing. Now, some people will try and take this and be like, "Oh, this is pedophilia. This is trying to promote pedophilia." This is not promoting pedophilia. This is a message. As a matter of fact, when after all this happens, right? So later on down the line, she's on her phone in the hallway, and the relative that she stole the phone from sees her in the hallway with the phone, and he was like, "That's my phone." So he takes the phone. He was like, "I thought you said that you didn't know where my phone was." She backs away, right? She backs off at the end of the hallway. She begins to slowly strip, right? And so as she begins to slowly strip, she thinks that if she provocatively shows herself, or she provocatively dances, or whatever she was about to do, she thinks that she can get her way out of this situation, just like how she got herself out of the situation with the security guards. So in her mind, because of how society is showing her, and these little girls and all this other stuff that's influencing her, she thinks that she has to act this type of way to get what she wants. So then the relative pushed her off with like, "What are you doing? Like, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? You about to strip and all this other type of stuff. Like, what is you doing? What's wrong with you?" So then she tells him to give me the phone back and all this other stuff. And he was like, "No." So she bites his hand, takes the phone, go into the bathroom. And this is what people was talking about, how she was taking a picture of her crotch, taking a picture of her cooch. And so people were saying that this is another way of promoting pedophilia. No, this was not a way of promoting pedophilia. Let me tell you what was going on. So she thought that in doing this, that she was going to prove that she isn't no little girl, right? That she's grown, she can do what she wants, type of thing. And so the movie is portraying these ideologies, these concepts, these events that happen to many other girls throughout middle school, many other girls growing up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are being very deflective. Being very deflective to this particular event, and people are not even taking the time out to watch the movie. So I'm not even going to have this back and forth conversation with you if you're just reading articles and you're not watching the movie. I mean, stupid ass niggas, yo. Y'all claim y'all here, y'all woke and all this other type of stuff.
I can't watch the movie. I'm gonna have to unfollow you. I can't believe you like the movie that I never watched and never gave it the time of day to make my own critical decision upon it. So I just had to unfollow you.
Nonetheless, so it's showing you here, these particular things that happen with little girls, that happens to them in middle school when they start to get influenced by these things and think that they can, post this and post that, do this, all this type of stuff. That they think that, it makes them somebody special, it makes them who they are, or it gives them some type of independency, So this is what it was showing here, the very negative portrayal of this type of hypersexualization, So she goes back to school, and, everybody's talking about, her posting her crotch, her coochie on social media, and the girls was like, "Yo, that's not cool. That makes us look bad." Like, and Amy was like, "Well, I thought you wanted us to prove that we're grown, that we're not little girls." And when one of the girls was like, "Yeah, but not like that. That makes us look bad." So she goes into the classroom, and one of the boys in there called her a slut, and he was like, "It's not my fault that you're going to be posting yourself and all this other stuff on social media." So she takes a pen and jabs the man's hand, right, into the desk, jabs the man's hand with a pen, and then it skips over, jump cuts to her having a conversation with her mother, right? And so the mother finds out everything. The mother finds out, "You've been stealing from me, you've been hanging out with these girls, you've been dressing this type of way." She's just going in. So this is what you see in the trailer, where it makes it appear like the Muslim culture, or the very concept, or the religion is in the wrong here, But that's not the narrative that is showing here. She's actually getting disciplined because of how she's been going out and about throughout the half of the whole movie, right? The auntie comes in and is like, I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna take care of this. Now, the scene that they show next is where she is being not washed, but like they're throwing water on her, right? They're throwing water on her. I still don't particularly understand this scene, you know. People really did take this scene out of context because there were some certain images and certain angles that they did show of this girl, you know, doing all this type of stuff, and I don't think people understood what was going on here. Only way that I could correlate this particular scene is when the mother said at the beginning of the movie, you know, the water will wash your sins away. I don't know what was going on here, you know what I'm saying? I might have to watch it again. Maybe I need some more clarification. Maybe other people understood what was going on here. I don't understand what this particular scene was going on, other than the fact that of what the mother was referencing to, the water will wash your sins away. So I don't know what the symbolism of the movement of her spazzing out like that, just like I don't know the symbolism of the dress pouring out blood. You know, I didn't understand these two symbolisms, so that's stuff that I'm still looking at. So we speed on up to the competition, right? So we speed on up to the competition. A little before the competition, they get into this big fight, and they don't want to mess with Amy no more. Then they accept Yasmin into the group, because Yasmin is like the center woman. All right, now she's a little chunky and stuff like that, and you see throughout the movie how even she has to, you know, she has to give into the peer pressure. You know, they show her vomiting into the girls' bathroom before she goes off and meet up with her, you know, her group or goes to class or whatever the case is, because she's sick to her stomach about what she has to do and what limits she has to go, you know, to be accepted and to be who she is and stuff like that. So it shows you the narrative here of what these girls are going through, and it's a reflection of what's going on in our society today. Now, people will say that you don't need to go this far. Well, Negro, how far do you want it to go? We don't need to show these images of girls doing this and that to make a point. I feel like this generation is the most butthurt sensitive generation that I have ever seen in my life, because this movie portrays such a good narration. It portrays such a good message of what girls were going through when I was growing up in middle school and what girls are still going through today. However, for some reason, people do not like to be confronted with the truth because it makes them uncomfortable. And this movie wasn't made to make you comfortable. This movie was not made to make you comfortable. If you're going into this movie thinking that it's going to make you comfortable, then you're not going to get a good message out of this. This movie was to give you the message of what girls are going through in terms of the hypersexualization of this particular culture in America. Or it wasn't America for them, but for me, how I saw the message is the hypersexualization in terms of society alone, whether it's in America or in other places, you know? So for people to say that this was a movie for pedophiles, that's a false equivalency, because you cannot say that just because they were portraying a message while showing images of these girls doing certain stuff, being influenced by certain stuff, that this movie automatically is for pedophiles. If you're going to use that argument, then by you loving to play GTA and Call of Duty, and you love to shoot people up, and you like to throw bombs and kill all these people down the street and all this type of stuff, then that means that you might have an urge to want to kill people. That means that you might be a murderer. This movie, this game, GTA, this game, Call of Duty, this game, Battlefield, these are games for murderers and school shooters. These are games for people to calm down their nerves, and you know, where they can where this game can feed off of their urge to kill innocent people. You know, if you're going to use that type of argument that this movie is for pedophiles, then I guess GTA are for murderers. You see what I'm saying? So you can't use this narrative that, you know, this movie is for pedophiles just because they show uncomfortable images of how these particular girls were being influenced by society. Moving on forward, right? So Yasmin is on her way to the competition, and Amy's already dressed up for the competition, right? So he throws Amy into the river or whatever the case is, so that she won't make it to the competition. She goes to the competition. She performs with the girls, and this is another scene that people were showing all throughout Twitter of this particular scene where they was dancing provocatively and all this type of stuff. Now, it's crazy and is actually very ironic to me that people are showing this scene, and this is the scene that's been going trending all throughout social media of this scene where they're at the competition. But they don't show you what happens midway throughout the competition. They show you these images and these scenes and these angles and these cuts and these pictures of them at the performance, at the contest, and performing in front of these judges and these people. And they don't show you the negative effect of this. They don't show you what happens midway when Amy is dancing up there in front of the crowd. She then gets an epiphany that this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. She starts breaking down, crying. She hears this ancestral music of her, being called back to her roots type of thing. Being called back to her foundation of who she is. So she runs off the stage. She runs back home. She runs into her auntie. Now it's in reverse. So now the auntie's getting onto her, saying that she got the clothes of a whore, all this type of stuff. And then the mother is the one that's playing that nurturing person, that nurturing figure, just like the auntie was at the first time, right? So then the mother's like, leave us be, okay, leave her alone, all this type of stuff. And so she hugs the mother. She's like, mother, don't leave me, don't go. And so the mother is like in this scene, without even speaking, she understands what her daughter is going through without her even saying anything. It shows in the visual effect. It shows in the body gesture, in the body gesture, that somehow indirectly the mother went through a certain phase like that too. Now this is just what I got from it. That without her even saying anything and looking at her daughter, being proud of her even throughout her flaws, she said, you know what, you don't even have to go to the wedding. And so she rocks off, and after that, at the very end of the movie, Amy gets into what we will say more modest clothing. She goes downstairs, and she starts jump roping with the children outside, and starts to enjoy her life as a child. Starts to enjoy her life as a girl at the age of 12 or 11 or 12, starts to recognize that she doesn't need to act in this type of way in order to be accepted. That she doesn't have to be hypersexual or provocative, or she doesn't need to be with the crowd or the masses in order to be liked. That she can be just who she is and love who she is in the way that she is, and just enjoy her life as a child instead of trying to grow up fast. It was a beautiful ending. The message that I got from this is clearly showing you the negative effects and the issues and the problems with the hypersexualization of our society. It's showing you in clear as day. It's showing you this culture of hypersexualization. There's even a saying in America that sex sells. So you see this throughout the whole movie. You see this throughout the whole movie of these girls being influenced by society, being influenced by these girls that they're watching in these videos and these films. And so they are trying to imitate it because they think this is the way to be. This is how you express your femininity and this, that, and the third. And so it was a beautiful movie. It was a beautiful portrayal in terms of the message that the beautiful director was trying to bring. Yeah, they had some uncomfortable images in there, but the only way that you're going to get the message is that you be uncomfortable. The only way that you are going to get the truth is that you be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So for people out here who are not going to take the time to watch the movie but going to critique the movie, you're stupid. You're about as sheeple as the rest of the masses. Watch the movie and watch it with an open mind this time. It was a good movie. It was a very good movie. It wasn't a portrayal. It wasn't a movie to glorify this type of lifestyle. It wasn't a movie to glorify these women doing, these girls doing what they wanted to do. It wasn't a movie for pedophiles that they can get their rocks off. You know what I'm saying? This was a movie to critique the culture of hypersexualization. And this is the thing, because a lot of these woke niggas, a lot of these woke people don't want to watch the movie. How are you supposed to claim that you're open-minded and you're critique and all this, that, and the third, and you're woke, you're open, you're enlightened, you're woke, but you won't even critique, you won't even watch the movie for yourself to have your own form of opinion. You're going off of what somebody else says. Well, they said it was bad, so I guess it is bad. Well, if you see this scene right here, and most of these scenes that people are talking about are taken out of context. Every scene, for the most part. Like when people was talking about the little girl and she was blowing one of the condoms into a balloon, that did not mean that the little girls were into that. If you actually watched the movie and what was going on, they was in the woods, they was having fun, and one of the girls picked up what she thought was a balloon or whatever, and was trying to blow it up and stuff like that. And everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's a condom! Why would you put that on your mouth?" And so they was freaking out. The girl was like, "Well, how was I supposed to know that it was a condom?" And it shows you right there that she didn't know what she was doing. These little girls doing all this type of stuff. It shows you right there of the innocence, the curiosity. It shows you right then and there. But you take this picture, you take this scene, oh no, this is what it's promoting. It's promoting pedophilia, it's promoting hypersexualization, and you just being as stupid can be.
I'm not watching a movie that condones girls twerking.
You dumb ass nigga. You dumb ass nigga. You dumb ass nigga. You dumb ass nigga. It wasn't promoting girls twerking. It was not promoting hypersexualization. If you watch the stupid goddamn... If you watch the movie with an open mind, if you watch the movie, I guarantee you it would not be what you think it is. Anyways, that's my review for the movie. It was a great movie. I'm willing to watch it again. If I missed any other type of subliminal messages within the particular movie, I'm willing to watch it again. It was a great movie. I recommend it to anybody in terms of getting the message of what it was portraying, rather than for you to self-deflect and act like you didn't go through this as a child, like you wasn't watching porn or being curious at the age of 11 and 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, have some self-reflection here. Have some empathy here in terms of what's going on here in the movie. Stop making it seem like you all holier than thou and you wasn't doing stuff when you was 11 and 12. You wasn't curious about certain stuff. I'm not saying that you was, but don't act like you was all little Miss Goody Two-Shoe. Till next time, I'm out. Oh, you know what? I'm not out, because I know there were men at the age of 11 and 12 and 13 that was getting their dick sucked, that was getting some pussy, whatever the case was. I know there was some girls. I know there was a girl that I went to school with ever since pre-K, and she got caught in the boys' bathroom in the 8th grade with another boy. I know this stuff happens continuously, and nobody wants to talk about it because it makes them uncomfortable. Now they 25, 30, they're more mature and all this other type of stuff. But when the mirror is reflected right back at you, it's not a pretty picture now, is it? Now hit my goddamn music.